Alright, so I've been playing a lot of Gambit recently so I could try to get the Trust hand cannon since it was requested to do a video on it. I did manage to get one, not really with the best roll on it, but it'll do. But the more I play Gambit, the list of problems I see continuously grows longer every time I'm done playing, and it's honestly disappointing me. Now don't get me wrong, Gambit can have its fun moments, and it's refreshing to see a mode like this come to Destiny. This is something that the community has been waiting for the longest time. Even before Destiny 1 launched, most of the people, including myself, thought this was going to be a large part of the game. You know, a mixture of player versus player and player versus environment. But it ended up not happening until the release of the first expansion of Destiny 2, which was Forsaken. And on this note, this is where I'm going to get into a more broad complaint of the game mode, and that is Gambit itself. So this is more of a personal complaint rather than a community complaint. But I myself see this game mode as a missed opportunity by Bungie to create a diverse and expansive gameplay experience, to actually mesh together player versus environment and player versus player. And by that I mean, instead of it being this linear game of kill as much enemies as fast as you can, pick up motes, and deposit them in a bank, and a single person gets to experience the PvP portion of the mode at a single time, it could have been something more along the lines of a Halo 5 Warzone mode. And if you didn't know, it was a mode that put up the 24 players against each other in a PvE and a PvP environment. They had to get 1,000 points to win, and to do that you killed bosses and other players, and completed objectives around the map to earn some points. But I personally thought this was going to be translated over to Destiny in a similar fashion. But instead we get this very linear loop of gameplay that offers little to no diversity. Again, meaning you just kill, you bank, and then you invade. That is it. That's the boring and monotonous gameplay loop that you're stuck in. And I could go on and on about this portion of the topic, but I think you get the gist on that. So another problem I have is that you're at a disadvantage for being in the lead. And if you haven't played Gambit, you might be confused hearing this, but what I'm saying is if your team is in the lead and you're first to summon a Primeval, you're at a severe disadvantage for many reasons, and the main reason is that other team can invade as many times as they want until they have their Primeval summoned also. Now granted, there is a 10 to 15 second cooldown in between invasions, but with an imminent threat of not only a Primeval, 3 mini bosses, and yellow bar ads, you have a player that is going to do more damage to your team than all those PvE enemies combined. And to give you an idea of what I'm saying, we're going to put this into perspective. Let's just say you're up 75 to 30 and your team just summoned your Primeval. Your team is spending all their special ammo on killing the wizards to get the boss debuff Primeval Slayer. And by this point you've exhausted all of your special ammo. So you start to use whatever you have, even if you have any at all, on killing the boss. But while doing this, an enemy is invaded with a sleeper stimulant, and even if they've killed only 2 of your people, the boss is already at full health again. Your buff is ran out and you're completely out of heavy and special ammo. And you probably used one of your supers killing the invader or used it prior to getting your Primeval summoned. So with all of this happening, they've caught up and they had their Primeval summoned. With full ammo and supers, you probably have time to invade once with only a primary, and at this point they've just won the game. And this is the most glaring problem I have with this game mode, but another problem I see, and this is a touchy one, is the invading system and the level advantages in Gambit. And I'm a proponent of having level advantages in Destiny. I think it's a good thing, especially having it in Iron Banner, Trials, and all that shit. But it also creates longevity in the game. If you have a reason to keep playing and keep leveling up, you're going to keep playing Destiny, because I mean that's what it is at its core. But I don't see a reason at all to have it in Gambit. It just creates unnecessary inconsistencies within the game. But the invasion system, in my opinion, is very unbalanced. And my reasoning for that is when you invade, you could essentially see players through walls and track every movement they make without them being able to see you and consistently track you. Sure, you have a glowing, slightly noticeable red shade, but that's about it. That's all they really have to see you. Sure, it's a 1 versus 4 with you being the only person in there to wipe a team, but you also have the PvE enemies on your side and a radar to constantly ping enemies. The radar being better than the one in Destiny 1, having more range and you could easily single out targets if you play it correctly. And the Gambit maps are small and divided into 3 sections. It's very easy to go through the map and attack other players, especially since 9 times out of 10, they're going to be in back mid, and they only have 3 sections of the map they could possibly be in. In my games that I was playing, every single time I invaded, other than maybe 3, I wiped their whole team completely, meaning that I killed every single player on the other team and I got back to mine. And I did not feel satisfied at all doing this because there was no planning to it. I could just see where they were through the wall, and sit back with a sleeper, a sniper, or a pulse rifle and just pick away at them. And it felt very unrewarding and boring, and there was just no skill to it, it felt like. And things like this are the reasons sleeper and other weapons alike are so potent is because every move you make is being tracked by the invader. They just line up behind a wall and peek out without having to expose themselves completely and just one hit you across the map. But again, these are just my opinions, and I know there are some people out there that love Gambit and like the gameplay it offers. Let me know in the comments if you have a differing opinion, and if so, tell me what you like about it. I do sometimes have fun playing it, and I love the weapons and armor sets they have. They're some of the coolest in the game at the moment. But I personally don't think that is going to warrant me to keep playing it unless the community is noticing the same issues I am. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, consider dropping a like on it or maybe even a sub to the channel. I like doing discussion videos like this, and if you want to see more, let me know what you want to see next. I appreciate all the support recently. At this time, we've managed it at 300 subs, and I couldn't thank you enough. Hopefully we continue to grow. But I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.